Ever try to navigate those cultural differences in relationships?
Yeah,
Yeah, it can be a little tricky.
it really can.
We're diving deep into that today with 5 essential tips to help you build those stronger bonds with your partner, no matter where you or they come from.
Yeah.
It's all about respect communication, finding common ground, and what we're going to get into all of it,
All the good stuff.
all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And listen all the way to the end of the episode
Oh, yeah.
because I have a story about a coffee order
Oh, no.
that went so hilariously wrong,
All right.
you will not want to miss it.
I'm ready.
So let's kick things off with tip number 1,
Yeah.
respecting each other's backgrounds.
Okay.
It might sound simple, but trust me, this is foundational.
Absolutely. It's like the bedrock of a strong relationship, right? You're basically acknowledging and valuing the fact that your partner's culture has shaped who they are, their values, their traditions, their whole perspective.
Yeah, and it goes way beyond just knowing like basic facts or whatever.
Totally.
Like I read this thing recently where they said even learning a few simple phrases in your partner's language,
Yeah.
like even just hello and thank you, could go a really long way.
It really does. It shows effort. You
Right.
know, you
Yeah.
care enough to meet them halfway. And it's not just about the language either, just like doing a little research on cultural etiquette before you meet their family.
Oh yeah.
That can make a world of difference.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like speaking of families,
Oh,
I remember one time I was visiting a friend's family
yeah.
and they kept offering me food. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm being polite." I kept declining.
Oh.
But I didn't realize that in their culture, it was kind of rude to refuse hospitality.
Oh, so you were like
I
accidentally.
was like, yeah, no thanks.
Oh,
I
no.
had no idea.
Yeah, that's a classic example of why it's so important to understand those unspoken cultural cues, right? Because what we think is polite in one culture could be totally different somewhere else.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
And that actually leads us perfectly into tip number 2, open communication.
So crucial because let's be real, we can't expect our partners to read our minds, right? Especially when you throw cultural differences into the mix.
You are so right, because those unspoken expectations can lead to some serious misunderstandings.
Oh, yeah. Faster than you can say cultural faux pas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so important to just like talk to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And ask questions.
Yeah, don't be afraid to just put it out there. Like, hey, can you help me understand why this tradition is so important to you? Or even just like, I'm still learning about your culture. Is there anything I should keep in mind?
Yes.
It's all about being curious and open.
Yeah, and honestly, having those conversations up front can prevent so many headaches down the road.
Oh, for sure.
And speaking of cultural mishaps,
Uh-oh.
remember that coffee story I mentioned?
Yes.
This is where it comes in.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm on a trip, right?
Mhm.
Feeling super confident.
Yeah.
I walk up to the barista and I'm like, "Can I get a regular coffee?" Thinking I'm playing it safe.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What happened?
Let's just say regular had a completely different meaning
Oh, no.
over there. I ended up with this like incredibly strong syrupy concoction.
Wow.
I could barely stomach it.
That's rough.
I was like,
Wow.
oh man. But it was a hilarious lesson in the importance of clear communication,
It really is.
even for something as simple as a cup of coffee.
You think you're safe with coffee,
Right.
but apparently not.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
It's all about breaking those cultural gaps,
Exactly.
which actually brings us to our next point, finding common ground.
Yes, because it's so easy to get caught up in the differences, right?
Yeah.
But remember, at the heart of it, you're in this relationship because you fell in love.
Exactly.
You connect on some level, so dig a little deeper, uncover those shared values, whether it's your core beliefs about family or personal growth, or even just how you approach challenges.
I love that.
Yeah.
Have you seen any like unexpected examples of common ground
Oh, yeah.
in cross-cultural relationships?
I knew a couple once where one partner was all about tradition, like that was a
Yeah.
really big part of their background, and the other was spontaneous. Loved change, loved trying new things.
Okay.
And they thought it would clash, but they discovered this shared passion for travel.
Oh.
So it was like a way to honor the past for one partner,
Yeah.
but also embrace new experiences together.
I love that.
So it was beautiful.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like they found that sweet spot where both of their cultures could kind of like intertwine.
Right. And honestly, sometimes the most enriching part of these relationships is celebrating those unique traditions. Which brings us to our next tip.
This is one of my favorites because it's like you get to experience the best of both worlds.
Right, like imagine experiencing a holiday you've never even heard of before, or
Hmm.
learning a traditional dance, or even just trying a family recipe that's been passed down for generations.
Yeah.
It's about creating this feeling of belonging
Oh, yeah.
and appreciating each other's heritage in this really deep way.
I love that.
Yeah,
It's like fully embracing the differences instead of shying away from them.
exactly. And remember, it's a process like learning a new dance.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to step on some toes.
For sure.
There will be missteps, but that's okay.
So true. And that actually brings us to our very last tip today. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Patience
And understanding.
and understanding.
Because listen, navigating cultural differences requires this growth mindset.
Yes.
You're both learning, you're adapting, and it's about extending grace to each other. Yeah. Especially when things get lost in translation.
Exactly. Because it happens.
It really does.
It does.
It happens to the best of us.
For sure.
So we covered a lot today. We talked about respecting each other's backgrounds.
Mhm.
Open communication is so important.
Mhm.
Finding that common ground, celebrating the beautiful differences, and remembering to just be patient and understanding with each other.
I think those are good takeaways.
Yeah, great takeaways.
Yeah.
But before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with a little something to think about.
Okay.
Okay, what is one cultural difference that you have encountered in a relationship?
Mm.
And how did you approach it or how did you navigate it? Keep those conversations flowing with your partner. And just remember, even a little bit of understanding can go such a long way in
Absolutely.
building stronger and more fulfilling relationships. Until next time.
See ya.